You ever notice how sometimes when a woman opens up to you, it feels like more than just a casual conversation? That's because it is. When she shares her thoughts, fears, or frustrations, she's not only talking, she's revealing a part of herself she doesn't show to just anyone, and how you respond in that moment determines everything. Welcome to Dating Older Women, where we decode the real psychology behind connection, attraction, and emotional depth. Let me be blunt with you. If a woman is opening up and telling you her problems, she's not just venting, she's testing something in you. She's showing you a side of herself she doesn't show everyone. And if you don't know what that actually means, you might misread her completely, or even push her away without realizing it. Most men think women just complain. They think when we bring up our struggles, it's because we want someone to fix them or give us advice. But here's the truth. When a woman shares her problems with you, she's letting you into her emotional world. And for women, that's a big deal. Trust me, we don't do that with just anyone. Now here's where it gets interesting. What we want in that moment isn't what most men think. You don't need to solve it. You don't need to give a long lecture. And you definitely don't need to get frustrated or dismiss it. What we're looking for is something deeper. We're watching how you hold yourself when we bring you our vulnerability. Do you stay calm? Do you actually listen? Do you show us through your presence that we're safe with you? Because if you can do that, you immediately separate yourself from almost every other man out there. Most guys fail this test. They either get defensive, annoyed, or overly eager to fix it. And in doing so, they show us they're not emotionally grounded enough to handle a woman in her real state. This is where stoicism comes in. A stoic man doesn't get pulled into emotional chaos. He doesn't lose himself when a woman shares her struggles. Instead, he listens. He steadies himself, and he proves, without saying much, that he can carry himself like a man no matter what. That's exactly what makes women respect you. And yes, even fall harder for you. Here's something most men overlook. Women don't share their problems with every man they meet. In fact, most of the time, we keep things bottled up or only open up to people we deeply trust. So, if a woman is confiding in you, it's a sign you're already standing out. You've earned enough trust for her to show a piece of her inner world, and that's no small thing. Now, don't get it twisted. Women may be emotional, but we're not careless about who we show that to. If she's telling you about her bad day, her boss embarrassing her, or feeling left out by friends, she's not just talking to talk. She's watching how you respond. She's checking if your energy is something she can lean on, or if you'll just brush her off like everyone else. When women share their problems, it's not really about the story. It's about connection. We're giving you an emotional invitation. If you meet that moment with presence, if you truly listen, if you stay calm, you build something powerful. Trust. But here's where most men trip up. Instead of simply hearing us, they jump into solution mode. They start offering advice like a life coach. While sometimes we'll take that advice, that's not what we truly want. What we crave in that moment is to feel understood, not fixed. If you can give us that, you immediately stand out. Imagine this. She says, "I feel like I'm the only one putting effort into my friendships. No one checks in on me, and it makes me feel like I don't matter." Most men would instantly reply, "Then stop talking to them," or "Find better friends." Logical? Sure. But emotionally, that misses the point. She's not asking you to build her a new friend group. She's asking you to sit with her in that vulnerable space and say something simple like, "That sounds really tough. I get why you'd feel that way." That's it. That's the power. By acknowledging her emotions without trying to fix everything, you show her that she's safe with you emotionally. And once a woman feels safe with you on that level, her attraction deepens naturally. Because deep down, every woman wonders, can this man handle me at my rawest? So remember this, when she shares her problems, it's not small talk. It's her way of letting you into her inner world. And that's the first step toward real intimacy. Here's the truth most men don't realize. When a woman tells you her problems, you're not just listening, you're being tested, not in a manipulative or game-playing way, but instinctively. Women reveal themselves as a way of measuring if you can handle it. Think about it. A woman doesn't want to open up to a man who'll crumble, dismiss her, or make her feel foolish for being vulnerable. So when she shares something that's bothering her, she's silently asking, "Can this man stay grounded when I'm not?" That's where so many men misunderstand stoicism. They think being stoic means being cold or distant. But real stoicism isn't about being detached. It's about being calm, grounded, and emotionally stable. It's about creating space for her emotions without letting them shake your foundation. And that, my friend, is the kind of presence women remember. The kind that earns their trust, respect, and quiet admiration. If this resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe to Dating Older Women, where we uncover what truly makes you unforgettable in the eyes of women who know exactly what they want. Real stoicism is about calm strength. It's about staying centered even when emotions are swirling all around you. When a woman sees that you can hold space for her feelings without getting rattled or trying to control the situation, that's when she starts seeing you differently. She sees you as stable, and to a woman, stability is magnetic. Let me break it down for you. When she shares her problems, you might react in a few different ways, and each one tells her something important about you. If you dismiss her and say, "Oh, it's not a big deal, don't stress," she'll feel unseen. That tells her you can't handle her emotional reality. If you get overwhelmed and say, "Wow, that sounds crazy, I don't even know what to say," she'll feel like you're not strong enough to carry weight when life gets heavy. If you overreact and say, "Why would your friends treat you like that? You need to cut them off right now," she'll feel like you're adding more chaos instead of calming it. But if you simply stay grounded, listen, and respond with calm presence, you pass the test without even realizing you're taking it. You show her that her emotions won't knock you off balance, that you can be steady when she's not. And that's a huge part of why women fall for certain men. Not because they're the loudest, richest, or most charming, but because she feels emotionally safe around them. Now let's talk about something most men get wrong. Why listening beats solving every single time. Here's the thing. It's not your fault. Men are wired to solve problems. If something's broken, you want to fix it. If someone's hurting, you want to find the fastest solution. That's how most men show care. But here's what you need to understand. When a woman tells you her problems, she's usually not looking for a fix. She's looking for connection. I know that sounds backward, but let me explain from a woman's perspective. When we share our struggles, it's not always because we want an answer. It's because we want to feel understood. Think about it. If she says, "My boss is making my life miserable. He never appreciates me," and your response is, "Then just quit your job," it doesn't make her feel better. Even if you're technically right, it feels like you skipped right past her feelings. What she really wanted was for you to hear her, to acknowledge her, and to make her feel safe enough to let it out. When you rush to solve, she feels like you're not really listening. And worse, it makes her feel small, like her emotions are something you want to get rid of, not understand. But when you slow down, lean in, and actually listen with presence, that's when everything changes. That's when she starts to feel closer to you. Because here's the truth. Women fall for the man who makes them feel seen, not the one who always has the perfect answer. The one who listens with calm presence makes her feel valued and understood. That's why listening is far more powerful than solving. It builds emotional intimacy, and intimacy is what makes her attached to you on a deeper level. Now, stoicism plays a big role here too. Real stoicism isn't silence, it's calm presence. It's being able to listen without jumping in, without getting defensive, without needing to prove anything. It's staying grounded while she opens up. You'd be surprised how often women end up solving their own problems just by talking them out. What they needed wasn't your solution, it was your presence. And that brings us to something most men never realize. Emotional vulnerability is her way of choosing you. Most men underestimate just how big of a deal it is when a woman opens up about her problems. You might think she's just venting, but for a woman, emotional vulnerability is never random. We don't hand our struggles to just anyone. We hand them to the people we trust. So when she chooses you to hear her problems, whether it's about work, family, her insecurities, or her fears, What she's really saying is, I trust you enough to see the unpolished version of me. That's not small, that's huge. And if you really understand how rare that is, you'll start to see it for what it is, her way of signaling interest. A woman doesn't open her heart to a man she doesn't care about. She might laugh with strangers or flirt a little with someone she finds attractive. But when she shows you the messy parts of her life, that's her inviting you into real intimacy. It's her way of choosing you, even if she never says it directly. Here's where most men mess this up. They treat her vulnerability as either a burden or background noise. They roll their eyes internally, thinking, here we go again, more drama. Or they listen half-heartedly, waiting for her to finish. When you do that, you miss the moment. You make her feel foolish for letting her guard down. And once a woman feels unsafe with her emotions, she won't open up again. She'll shut down, and you'll lose access to the most important part of her, her true self. From a Stoic perspective, here's what you need to realize. Her vulnerability isn't a weakness. It's an invitation. She's not trying to overwhelm you. She's trying to connect with you. And the way you respond in that moment decides whether she'll trust you more or pull away. So stay calm, stay steady, and don't try to fix her emotions. Just let her know she's safe with you. That's the kind of energy women don't forget. Because in a world full of noise, the man who listens with quiet strength is the one who stands out. If this spoke to you, don't forget to follow Dating Older Women, where we help you master the art of calm confidence, emotional depth, and connection that lasts. Your role isn't to react emotionally to her, but to stay steady. That doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means being grounded, calm, and able to hold space for her emotions without judging or losing yourself in them. When she's upset, you don't need to mirror her chaos. When she's anxious, you don't need to carry her anxiety. Your calm presence does something powerful. It reassures her. It tells her, you can fall apart here, and I'll still be standing strong. When she opens up, she's not just venting, she's inviting you closer. When a woman tells you her problems, it's rarely about small talk. She's saying, here's a side of me most people never see. And in that moment, she's silently asking, will you come closer or stay on the surface? How you respond decides whether she feels drawn to you or quietly disappointed. Picture this. She's telling you how her boss embarrassed her in front of everyone. Her words are quick, her emotions all tangled. She's trying to make sense of what just happened. Most men jump in with advice, you should have said this, or here's what I'd do, but that's not what she needs. What she needs is for you to really see her and say something simple like, that must have been hard, but you're stronger than you think. That's the shift. You didn't fix her problem. You didn't minimize it. You didn't make it about yourself. You just held space, validated her feelings, and gently reminded her of her strength. That's not weakness. That's real masculine steadiness. When she opens up emotionally, she's showing trust. Vulnerability is her way of connecting, of inviting you into her world. If you meet her there with patience and calm, she feels safe. And for a woman, safety is the foundation of desire. This is where stoicism matters. Stoic doesn't mean cold. It means you stay calm when her emotions rise, grounded when she wavers, and balanced when she feels off-center. That's what lets her relax into you, because the truth is, when she feels safe with you emotionally, she naturally feels closer to you in every other way. Mentally, physically, spiritually. But when you shut her down or try to fix her too fast, she feels unseen, disconnected, and the spark fades. Here's where most men go wrong. They think being helpful means solving problems. But most of the time, she doesn't want solutions. She wants grounding. She wants to feel steady again by leaning into your calm. Think about it. If she's overwhelmed, she doesn't want another list of things to do. She wants reassurance. She wants to hear, that sounds tough, I get why you're upset. That simple acknowledgement is often more powerful than any advice. By doing that, you show her you're not afraid of her emotions. You're not trying to silence her or rescue her. You're just there, solid, calm, steady. That's how you ground her. And make no mistake, constantly trying to fix everything pushes women away. She stops coming to you because she doesn't want advice. She wants connection. When she doesn't find that with you, she'll find it elsewhere emotionally. And that's where many men lose her without realizing it. Grounding her doesn't mean agreeing with everything or letting her vent endlessly. It means staying centered. Listening without rushing to respond, keeping your tone slow, calm, and grounded. Say, "I see why you feel that way," instead of, "Here's what you should do." Let her talk without interrupting. Don't escalate when she's upset. Your calm tone pulls her back into balance. The more you stop trying to fix her, the more she sees you as her anchor. That's when she starts missing you when you're not around. That's when she thinks, "No one makes me feel as steady as he does." Once a woman associates you with safety and grounding, you become unforgettable in her world. And if you want to learn how to create that kind of calm, magnetic presence that makes her feel both safe and deeply drawn to you, stay tuned, because we're just getting started. Not every problem is yours to carry. And here's something most men don't want to hear, but absolutely need to. Just because a woman shares her problems with you doesn't mean you're responsible for fixing them, carrying them, or letting them weigh you down. This is where so many men get trapped. You mistake support for self-sacrifice. Before you even realize it, you're drained, frustrated, and resentful, while she doesn't feel any closer to you. Listen carefully. Women are drawn to men who are steady, not men who drown in their emotions. If every time she unloads her stress, you internalize it, obsess over it, and make it your mission to solve it, she won't see you as strong. She'll see you as fragile. And no woman feels desire for a man who collapses under her emotions. Here's the truth from a woman's heart. When we tell you our problems, we're not looking for rescue. We're seeing if you can hold space without falling apart. We want to know if you can stay grounded even when we're messy, emotional, or unpredictable. But we don't want you to carry our weight like it's now your burden. That doesn't feel comforting. It feels heavy, even suffocating. This is where stoicism becomes magnetic. Stoicism doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means staying rooted in yourself, having emotional discipline, not letting someone else's storm shake your core. When you can listen, empathize, and maybe offer perspective, but still stay calm and centered, she'll feel something rare: respect, trust, safety. But when you become overly involved, when you start carrying her emotions as if they're your own, you stop being a partner. You start becoming her emotional crutch. And here's the hard truth. Women don't desire men they have to lean on that way. They desire men who can be leaned on without losing themselves. The man she respects is the man she keeps. So here's the bottom line, brother. When a woman vents to you, she's not asking you to fix her life. And she's definitely not looking for a man who gets swallowed by her emotions. She's testing, often without realizing it, whether you can stay calm, composed, and grounded while she moves through her chaos. That's what separates a man she respects from a man she merely tolerates. If you lose yourself every time she's upset, if you turn into her therapist, her fixer, or her emotional sponge, you stop being the man she was drawn to in the first place. She doesn't need another problem. She needs presence. Men who master stoic presence, who can listen, empathize, and still stay centered, those are the men women fear losing the most. So don't carry what isn't yours. Don't confuse love with self-sacrifice. Don't abandon your own peace just to soothe hers. Because when you do, you end up drained, bitter, and unseen. Instead, stand tall. Stay calm. Let your energy show her that you can hold space without losing your balance. Because when you stay unshaken, she feels safe. And that safety turns into respect. And respect turns into lasting attraction. Women never forget the man who meets their storms and doesn't crumble. They never forget the man who stays calm when everything around her feels chaotic. That's the man she misses. That's the man she respects. And that's the man she'll fight to keep. Be that man, her anchor, not her baggage. And if you want to learn exactly how to develop that calm, grounded energy that draws women closer instead of pushing them away, stick around, because the next part is where everything changes.